SDC stock, SmileDirectClub Inc. closed the session of the 13th of September 2021 at $5.98, a gain of 16.12%. And in this post/pre-market of the 14th of September, it is now up about 6% or thereabout. I think probably trading at $6.34. And in the session of the 13th, 49.8 million shares crossed the tape. And I think market participants are expecting a short and gamma squeeze on SmileDirectClub because, according to what we have here, according to research, it's probably because of its short percent of float. Short interest is currently stands at 32.88%. This is the amount of percentage of the stocks relative to its shares outstanding that have not been sold short. So 32% of this 388.113 million have been sold short. That is what they are pointing out, and it's also you can see why it may be of great interest to a lot of market participants. You can see it has a market cap that is more than 1 billion. So it's in some quarters it's regarded as mid cap stock, even though on Charles Schwab it's their platform we're using. It's regarded as a small cap stock, and it's also, you can see, 62% of 62% of the shares are held by institutions. So it's also, yes, that's a huge amount, and amongst other things, some of them may also be in short positions, So technically, look at what we're looking at right here. The stock is very much in a bearish trend. Even the underlying trend is bearish. So what we have seen of late, is an indication that maybe the stock is continuing that upward trend it started on the 20th of August. Maybe it is trying to resume that upward bullish movement. See? Because the stock has been retracing, has been bearish, pretty much bearish for some time now. Even though at some point it tried to edge up, trading below all of its moving averages. All of these. During these periods, it always presented a good buying opportunity. And you can see the attempts to take advantage of that. But they stock always faced resistances. But right now, of late, as at the 4th of August, the stock actually surpassed the all of its moving averages, all of its short-term moving averages, 10 and 20-day moving averages. But at the same time, again, faced more resistance from there and retraced, got some support from the 10-day moving average. But currently now it is, just not very far away from its 50-day moving average. So yes, certain market participants are probably relying on this short interest figure as a bullish sentiment, as a bullish quantitative that will see if the stock is going to banish this bearish tendency it has had for a long time. For a very long time. Much of this year has had this bearish signals all the way through. The trend has been a bearish one. Even though indeed we see sometimes it spikes, but the underlying trend has been bearish for months. So you can see what's going on here. I think maybe things are trying to improve. You can see there's a news out there. It says SDC gained to 1 month highs on above 5 times average volume and elevated call option. Okay, that's amongst other things. The momentum was quite high on that session of the 13th of September. You can see it appears to be rallying within a longer term bearish trend, driving its MACD above the signal line. However, shares remain below a declining 200-day moving average, signifying that the dominant trend remains lower. It's lagging the S&P 500. Momentum for SDC stock is strongly bullish. The 14-period stochastic oscillators is rising as investors pay higher prices for shares. The volume for that session was heavier than usual, trading 48.033 million shares Yes, versus an average of 6.393 million shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced bond indicator shows that longer term selling pressures giving way to near term accumulation by traders. So the volume and the momentum are in consonance. They are just validating what has happened. Things are trying to move up. So the float for the stock is about 100 million based on what we have here on short interest, short squeeze. 104 million, that's a float. So even though we have that 40 million, it's still below, not even close to 50% of the float. So it's still, well, let's see how things pan out. Volatility is also not that high, 72.85%. We have seen volatility in even for a stock like this. We have seen volatility in more than 100%. So fingers crossed, things are improving. Momentum is improving. To a good extent, market participants may deem the stock as being undervalued. And then when you have that short interest as well, short interests, they always attract market participants, because what it simply means is that money is locked up in the stock. Why wouldn't you get involved with a stock that has 32% of its shares outstanding sold short? That is we're talking about 32% of $2.3 billion that is going to go back in. That's about $600 million. If you hear that a stock has a potential to plow back about $600 million into itself, why would you not get involved? So that is what is amongst other things. Amongst other things, maybe what is behind this rally that he has recorded of late. And it could change the face of the stock in the long term. Because in the long term, over more than 200 days, over more than 200 trading sessions, the stock has been bearish. So fingers crossed, we'll see. This could be a reversal in the bearishness. So we'll continue to update you, and thank you very much for watching this video.